Hey guys, I'm back with another Booster Box update, and oh my god, I don't even know where to start. Sometimes it's really hard to find like an interesting piece of data or something useful for you guys, but not today. There's a lot of things. So, Scarlet Violet base went up to about almost 190 after already going up to 180 yesterday. I mean, it's 188, and demand is pretty strong still. I'll go over more of that later. But like Twilight Masquerade, I was a little iffy on the how fast it would increase in price, but suddenly it's at 230. I thought it would take a little longer, but I guess I was wrong. Um, it's been stuck around like 200 to 210 for the longest time, even like 190 to 210, and it suddenly shot to 230. And there wasn't even like that much of a big spike of demand in the last day, but there's been like a spike in demand in the last 2 days. So that makes a little more sense. We'll go over more of that later. Um, and then Paldea evolved. The price actually decreased technically, but there has been a big buyout, and I told you guys before, like a lot of boxes bought out. Demand was already going up in general, but this is like the highest demand in a single day we've seen in the last month, 52 boxes. Um, and yeah, like even before that, like this was a nice little spike of 30 boxes. But I told you guys like the price has been going up for Paldea, and people are buying even more of it. That shows how strong demand is. So even though the price went down technically, if you scroll down, like it was at like 224. It'll go down. It'll go back. There's only three boxes. Actually, one box at that price, 220, and then that's like 223. Um, actually, that's 224. So there's only one box. And then yeah, there's only five boxes until 230. So and then after that, there's only one box to 230, and then that's 236 and two like. Paldea's good. Paldea's going insane, guys. There's also some stuff stored in shields, but honestly, Scarlet Violet's always a little more exciting. But there is some stuff stored in shield too. All right, so let's just go back to some of the slower analysis. So, all right, Scarlet Violet base. I've been telling you guys the demand of Scarlet Violet base has been abnormally high, and even for a Scarlet Violet booster box, this is pretty decent demand. It's like a good chunk, and the height of the bars is usually around at least 20. And there's been some spikes of like there's like a 30 here, 45, another 30. So and like compared to the normal, like it's just been definitely like higher. Um, you see the price increase. Um, and then when I look at down at the listings, it's like okay, so if we're keeping up this with this demand of like at least let's say like even the low end 15 boxes a day over the last um roughly since February 11th, but you can also say February 13th, there's been at least 15 boxes per day every day except for one of the days where it's 12. So 50 boxes is a pretty safe number. So that's two, that's five, that's nine, that is 14, that's 15. So it goes to the next page. So you get to, if 15 boxes are bought again, you get to the next page and you get to 200. Now, yes, once you get to higher price points, it's not necessarily going to go at the same demand. People will list, but yeah, I think what's happening. So I'm seeing a lot of similar patterns to Sword and Shield. So right now, I think it's like people are worried or thinking it might fall. What happened to Sword and Shield base? Because Sword and Shield base has not been moving at all, but it's already a $400 booster box compared to everything else. Like Sword and Shield base is the third most expensive Sword and Shield box. It's just under Fusion Strike. So I think that's part of the effect. People are seeing like the actual demand. There's like gonna be no reprint of this. Like sure, like not 100%, but no one thinks that this is gonna be reprinted at all. So yeah, these booster boxes are gonna get more scarce, and I think that for a long-term investment, it probably isn't gonna do as well as like other sets. Like let's say in 10 years, but in the short-term period, it can definitely pull a Sword and Shield effect, and it's better than Sword and Shield base. So I think that's part of the reason people are buying it. Paldea, also a pretty old set. People don't think it's gonna be reprinted as far as at least booster boxes go. And like it's just like, hey, you choose the best sets of the era, and they tend to do well. So like the best sets of the era are of Sword and Shield or like Fusion Strike and like Paldea and Twilight remind me a lot of Fusion Strike and um, Lost Origin. Fusion Strike is a little different, but they both have like big chase cards, and they're generally accepted as like not the best set, but like one of the best sets. So yeah, people are just kind of like going back to history. They're seeing like, hey, Paldea, this might be your last chance to ever get it, and yeah, people are buying more and more of it now. Um, City in Flames, I didn't really talk about, but some of these other things they're not moving as much. So I think that like one of these boxes I'm gonna be like it's gonna suddenly go up all of a sudden and not have that many signs. But yeah, see the demand for Obsidian is like way less than Scarlet Violet base. Like you see some spikes at 15 or 20, but it's kinda like iffy. Like think about that guys, like Scarlet Violet base is a higher demand right now than um Obsidian Flames. They're about the same price, like literally like $1 off. Um and you're getting more sales of Scarlet Violet base than Stadium Flames. Like that's not something that was happening before. Um, but yeah, the rate for Stadium Flames is slower. Since it's slower, and I look at the prices, like I just don't think it'll move that much more. It did actually go down, from 192 to 189, but like I'm not really like it could go up to like 195 the next day, but I'm not really I'm just gonna wait a day and see what happens with that. Um, but again, like also like as the prices of booster box get close together, people will kind of wake up and think like, hey, if these are the same price, I would rather buy like a Stadium Flames over SV base for some people. But for the next day, I'm not really that worried about it. But probably in a day or two, something will happen. Paradox has also had pretty strong demand. Like you see a bunch of like 20 boxes a day most of the time. You see some alternating like 15, like 10 to 13 to like 20. It did go down a little bit, but I think it's also another one of those sets that people think is kind of undervalued. It's not quite the same as SE base because there seems to have been more Paradox printed than SE base. It's also a little more recent, but yeah, people don't think they're gonna print more booster boxes of this either. Um, 181. So this goes to 183 over here, 184, 185. It seems like it's like a little it's slower than SC base. There's probably more people who have it. Um and I just yeah, it feels like SC base is it's gonna grow a little faster than Paradox at the moment. Because there's probably more sellers and the demand doesn't seem as strong or it's about as strong. For temporal, I think no one bought any box yesterday, which was interesting. I'm still waiting for it to sell in Pokemon Center. I should really double check it's not actually selling in Pokemon Center yet. Because if it is, then it should improve soon. But yeah, Temper Force is still there. Um, I have a feeling it's selling really really fast. I can't really verify that. I have a feeling it's selling really really fast. But yeah, I'm like just buy on Pokemon Center. Don't buy it from here. But yeah, it's gonna sell eventually. It's gonna affect the pricing. Um, yeah, Twilight. It just I think what happened when I look at the sales data. So it doesn't include the shipping the sales data, but there's been a couple sales that actually at the 230 price already. But a lot of the activity happened probably like yesterday, and like there were a bunch of like 209 sales, and which is what it was yesterday. I feel like it's possible that like actually I think this might have been one of the big turning points. Like a lot of 209s were bought, and then someone bought five of the 220s, and then like so either this could have been one person or it could have been like organic demand where people just bought out all the started buying. I say I should get a box of Twilight. I should get a box of Twilight, and then like the 210s boxes went away, and then 220 was still there, and then the 220s were slowly bought out like today, um, and then now we're at 230. But yeah, like it was only like I guess over the last 3 days, there's been like a spike of even the last ever since the 20. There's been more Twilight demand. Um, but yeah, over the last 3 days, it's been the most effective. So that's 27, 46, 45. Let's say 45, 52, like 50 boxes. And you see, there's only 50 boxes on the market. So we're also getting that effect. There's a lot of the Twilights being bought out. Um, this also reminds me, like, honestly, Twilight reminds me so much of Lost Origin. Like, this more as like a one-to-one comparison. There's like, it's known for like one big chase, like Giratina versus Greninja. Um, like amazing, and it has like a very amazing different artwork. Like Gengar VMAX looks good, but like it's not really known for like sort of a unique artwork. But I guess Paldea is a little like that. But I do remember when Lost Origin came out, people said that it went up to like 200 pretty quickly, and it dropped to like 100 when a reprint came. But it kind of recovered very quickly. And it's also like a sort of later set. It's not like the early set. It's like middle to end of set as far as release day. So it just gives you a lot of Lost Origin vibes. I wouldn't be surprised if this was reprinted eventually and it drops. But as of now, like it's it's doing really well. Um, Stellar Stellar is probably going to increase as well. Demand isn't like is kind of decent. It's still like in the like yeah, a lot of these Scarlet Violet boxes are selling like 15 to 20 boxes a day, but hasn't been as consistent. Um, yeah, there's not that many boxes at the 190 price. It should probably go to like 195 to 200 soon, just based on the numbers. Unless, but I do know that this box is pretty easy to get at like $100 just a few months ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if like sellers would keep offloading stuff to take profits. Um, it's also like way newer, so yeah, it's probably gonna get reprint someday. And Surging Sparks, like yeah, I'm seeing that it's like the best set so far of Scarlet Violet as far as booster box set goes. It's a pretty clear winner because it's literally the most expensive booster box. Um, and yeah, its supply hasn't really increased except for vending machines, and people want to open it. Um, and if all the other boost boxes are going down, there's a kind of no reason like Surging Sparks should go. If all the other boost boxes are going up, there's no reason why booster boxes like Surging Sparks wouldn't follow. Because some people who want to invest in booster boxes now are gonna go to Surging Sparks. Because it does have that little, it does have that added risk reward thing. Like why wouldn't you go for the best set? That's how some people are gonna think. Okay, so Sword and Shields. This probably is going a little long. This video is probably going a little long, so I'll just go quick on this. Hopefully. Um, so I kind of divided by booster boxes that I know like everyone should know this by now. If you want the greatest long term value, um, Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, and Lost Origin are probably going to give you long term value. If you can wait 10 years and hopefully get a good price point now, honestly, the best return on your investments usually probably going to be the best sets of the era, which is Evolving Skies, Lost Origin, and Fusion Strike. Other than that, a lot of people do not have like a 10-year mindset, or they realistically can't hold for 10 years, or they want to diversify, or they want to take advantage of short term things. But so in that case, like it seems like I divided by these. So as far as things moving soon, not that they can't have the potential, but Evolving Sky seems to be still a little slow compared to other ones. And I'm talking like days, like maybe a day or two or three. It could suddenly show up in like after that. But Evolving Sky seems to be still a little slow. Brilliant Stars still seems to be a little slow, like based on just the normal things I tell you about. The buying rates are low, and then the number of things on the market, um, like it's not gonna increase fast enough unless there's like a big buy all of a sudden. Brilliant Stars, the same thing. There's decent demand, but for Sword and Shield sets, but there's just too many on the market for like the next day or two. Lost Origin, yeah, I think there's some resistance past the 400. It hasn't really gone past like 400, I think, and so there's probably some resistance. Long term, people really believe in it, but right now it seems it's probably going to stagnate a little bit until um, people give a little more attention. Um, Rebel Clash, I have it here because not that it's moving much, but because there's a box on sale for this 100% seller technically for 244. So if anyone wants it, it's on sale at your own risk. Um, Chilling Rain. So these are the boxes that are actually moving a little more as far as like immediately kind of thing. Things that I see happening like no today or like tomorrow or the next day. Chilling Rain. The 310 cheap boxes are going away. If you filter out by the picture listings, you see that these these two sellers are selling for like 320, 315, 320, but they have 0% feedback, like positive feedback, so kind of risky. And then you don't get to the 100 like these star rated gold star sellers until later, which is like 327, 330. Jenny Rain also had like 4 boxes sold yesterday, so it's been spiking a little bit. Um, it just seems like it might move in the next couple of days based on all these things set up. Like there's like low listed sellers, but like they're not really the best sellers to buy from, and you know you're just starting to see, hey, the price could go up if like all these number of boxes were bought because the price points do differ. Um, Fusion Strike, I think it's on a move. I've been telling you guys this for a while, and yeah, it has been moving. The demand just seems pretty strong compared for a Sword and Shield box. Like there's been kind of consistent demand. You don't see very sparse bars, and like the number of boxes bought per day for such an expensive item is relatively high, like 2 to 5 a day, or 2 to 4. Um, you get to 470 over here, and you get to 475, 480, 485. You see how it should go up at least like $10, $20 like pretty easily. Um, so yeah, I'm still optimistic on Fusion Strike going up. Astral Radiance, I didn't really fully expect this, but it has been going up, and it kind of falls into one of those $250 booster box territories. And this is where there's like some intersection with Scarlet and Violet, because like that's like the same price as Surging Sparks, um, but it's a much safer long term hold, because like there's no risk of reprint. But yeah, Astral Radiance, the price has been, where is it? It's been going up. I think it's been like 240 before. There's like 247, 250. Um, yeah, the highest I've seen it is 250 in like January, and now it's at like it's crossed that's 257. Everything's kind of recovering, so there's that. Um, but yeah, it does seem like I look at that. There was some bought yesterday 3. If I go down, there's these 0% sellers at like like just under 250, and he gets 260 for this one. And he gets 275. So just like a possible jump in the next day or two. Um, Silver Tempest, it also has better demand, but it seems like compared to Astral Raids, I like Silver Tempest better because it has a better chase card. But in the short term, like the next couple of days, it thinks Astral Radiance will actually increase more in Silver Tempest. There's just more boxes available at the like even if the you go get to the next price point, it's only that much higher. Um, and yeah, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks, guys. Bye.